Hey guys. So, apparently I've been helping some of you wake up to your own abilities and uniqueness. Um, it's so weird because I mean, all of the stuff that I've been going through has led me to having all these epiphanies and realizations that have been like really mind-blowing. Like, how is that possible? Like, what is that? What does that mean? What in the world? What, just tripping me out. Um, But like I told you in one of the prior videos recently, so sorry if I'm repeating myself, you silly girl. Um, you basically, I mean, for me, for part of my like awakening to who I am or what I am or whatever this is, because I'm still like it's still an unfolding and it's a lot to take in, it's a lot to realize. But basically, I was given all these readings by, well, I mean, you know how I scry anyway with everything in life. Um, Scrying means that you kind of read into everything. If you hear somebody say something close to you, if you look and you see the word fragile, or you look, while you're having a conversation with someone about a certain topic, or, anything that happens in your environment or that you see come in front of you is somehow substantial. Because we're in a simulation. There's no random thing ever happening. It's all happening around us for our benefit somehow. It's a hint or a clue or a warning or something. So, like yesterday, I went grocery shopping and the total popped up on the screen with my license plate. And I thought, whoa, what kind of, that's really interesting. So I knew there's something that was going to go on with my car or something that was going to happen with my car. And I knew I had just talked about it in the video yesterday. So, these guys, they don't take a warning. They're dumb. They are so stupid. These people who do black magic, they just don't catch a clue. They're so stubborn and they're so like, oh my gosh, you guys. And they think, and they think they're clever or they're smart or their manipulation is something. And it's they're gonna be realizing soon that it's nothing. Manipulation and lies is nothing, nothing of any value or worth. And they've planned their whole lives on being that way. So anyway, I'm always aware when I say something in a video, which is why in the past I was leaving a lot of stuff out. I wouldn't tell you guys a lot of things. I used to be like a totally open book, blah, 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 blah about everything. And then I was like, well, they're hitting me hard with everything after that, which God was allowing to train me. Okay. So it was all for a purpose. It wasn't just, don't ever take their attacks as anything with any kind of value except for being your training. So, doing these guys are just crazy right now. They're like in total play mode. That's great. We need more play, right? So basically I was getting all these hints and clues and things, and then with my car as the example, I saw the number and I was like, oh, I figured. I didn't think about it actually when I did it, but it made sense when I saw the license plate on my receipt. I was like, yeah, that they're still dumb. They still try. They still don't. I was like, whatever they're up to, man, this is not going to go well for them. I'm never worried about myself anymore when these things happen. I never worry about myself now or those closest to me. Anybody close to me, like a good friend or an animal or whatever, they're completely protected, just as I am. So anybody who even tries anything with anybody that I truly care about or myself, they are the ones that are going to reap the consequences. They just don't know it yet. So they're in for a big surprise. So basically, because I'm done with my training. Well, I'm not, we're never really done with all of our training, but I'm done with that part of my training. So yeah, they said something about me. I can't say I'm a master. They said I was mastering it. So and I'm sitting here going, well, I'm working on mastering it or whatever. I see. I can't even totally own like being some kind of master of anything. But anyway, we're always a work in progress. So I get this number and so I walk out to the car and I'm like, okay, all right. So what's this about? What's going to happen? I was already prepared, but I like to, when I'm like putting groceries and stuff away, I like to just reorganize the back of my car a bit. Like, okay, make room for this. This might need to go to storage. That's been sitting there for a bit. I don't apparently don't need it. Move this over here. This is stuff I need right now. This is stuff I can come back and grab out, later on today or tomorrow or something like that. So I just kind of move it around and organize it and stuff like that. And I was doing that. I just need to make sure I'm recording because can you imagine I've been talking all this time and it's not recording? Okay, it is. So I'm out there doing this and I'm hemming and hawing and I'm looking and moving things around and trying to figure out the best way to situate everything. And I hear this truck or something was like belting out this Christmas music. I thought he was probably in a good mood or something. I really wasn't thinking about that person. I just was like, oh, Christmas music. And the person starts, and I'm just like, somebody's upset. And then he says something like, and pardon my French, but I do swear on this channel. If you don't approve of swearing, you should probably go elsewhere. So he starts, talking about take your motherfucking time, just take your time, something or other. And I oddly enough, I knew it wasn't directed at me, but although that made perfect logical sense that it would be me, I could tell he had pulled ahead a little bit. So I thought, well, somebody else must be doing the same thing I am or something, in the next car over. But he, like, just blah, 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 just was going off about the other person taking their own sweet time and whatever. And I'm like looking around going, oh my God, there are so many parking spaces. Take another parking space. There's like one right there, right there, right there, right there, right there. I mean, it was wide open. There were so many spaces. It was like a plethora of spaces. Why would somebody, obviously they wanted to feed their ego and they had a demon. So I was just like, okay, now I'm aware there's a situation here. And I look over and the guy next to me, the one that one was yelling at, I don't know why he wasn't yelling at me. I mean, I was the logical choice to yell at, but he was yelling at that guy. But the guy was sitting in his car in the driver's seat. So it's not like he was even doing anything. If anything, he was probably just sitting there. I don't know, maybe he was spying on me. Maybe he was trying to see when I was going to leave or something like that. I don't know. I mean, I have a lot of people spying on me. So now that I look back at it, I'm like, oh, maybe he was just sitting there waiting to see when I was going to go. I don't know. But so this guy's yelling and screaming at him. And so this guy, he's like a big burly, like biker looking dude, I'm like, what are you messing with him for? I could tell that guy behind was like, I don't know. I pictured him like a smoker and skinny and just popping off, like being a punk. And I was like, I don't know if I'd pick on this bigger Harley looking dude. Like, I don't know if that's logical either. I'm like, yeah, this guy's totally got a demon. So anyway, the guy finally, backs up out of his parking space and it just like hauls backwards and he's about to go after the other guy, and he looks over at me and I just mouthed like, wow. Like, I just said, wow. And he just kind of did this and then took off after the other guy trying to find him and stuff. That was like, wow. So I finished up what I was doing there and I got all packed up ready to leave and I started to go out of the parking lot. I almost hit an island. I almost hit a curb, a big one, because the light was blinding me for a moment. And it hit the scene just so I couldn't see the curb. So I was like, holy shit, like I better pull over. I better pull over and do a clearing on this. And it was a pretty massive clearing. Whoever put that on me really did not wish me very goodwill at all. Which I'm so used to. And I just shook my head. I was like, oh, this person's really gonna pay. This person, here's a dumb person who tried something again. So gosh. So but I'm saying this because you really need to pay attention and you need to learn energy work. And I'm putting out this message for the light workers like me who are clueless as to how important you truly are. Okay, you maybe even have heard that in readings. Oh, you're going to be amazing and you're going to help all these people's lives. And you're just like, who, me? I'm here to snap you out of it. Okay, because I have been woken up, like slap, 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 slap. God's like, you're my right hand woman. Like, you're it. Like get with the program and get on board here. Believe, because you have to be, the more you believe that you're protected, you are that protected to that degree. So some of you need to hear this. You got to get on board with how important you are, okay? Wake up. Wake up and realize that you're a big deal, okay? Because my whole life I thought I was so ordinary. My whole life I thought it was nothing. I thought I was just getting by, man. I was just like, what do I need to do? And I was making, the only reason why I was making good decisions one after the other is because I want to thank my best friend from childhood. Because like I went through a situation that I felt so guilty and bad about. I never ever wanted to feel that kind of feeling ever again. And so I thought, I hate that. I hate the feeling of guilt, of just like that guilt that just kills you. The one that just, you did something really, really shitty, and then it just stays with you. And you just feel so bad about that thing. And like, I wish I could just go back and just do the right thing in that situation, right? It was one of those types of moments. So, and I'm sure she doesn't watch me. I'm sure she absolutely hates me. But I was a different person back then, and obviously she doesn't live in the moment, but she really won't have anything to do with me, which is fine, because obviously she's stuck in the past. But it was a great lesson for me, and I'm grateful to her forever for it, because if I wouldn't have gone through that trauma of that, then I wouldn't be who I am today. So every decision I've ever made, I've made fucking damn fucking sure that I am making the right decision. That no matter how it comes back on me, I did the right thing in order with the information that I have. Sometimes we don't have all the information, or sometimes we fall for getting duped with something or whatever. But like, I have really made the decision that I can stick by, stand by, and if it all comes crumbling down, I'm standing in my integrity, period. You know? So, but it was for selfish reasons, honestly. Self-preservation, because I hated that feeling of guilt. I'm not going to go make another decision that's ever going to make me feel that way. And the more I started making good decisions, the more and then I would see things fall apart for other people around me, but not me. I was like, all right, well, this feels a lot better. This feels really nice, actually, because I know that I always feel okay. Even if something goes kind of shitty around me or whatever, I feel right in what I did. So that started feeling better. And like that started cementing within me, doing the right thing, making the decision that avoids that guilt consequence down the road. You do have situations though that you get into you're going to feel guilty about, but that just takes like training your like things that you didn't do intentionally, that you end up going, oh man, it's like I would do it over again though. So but it ended up being, that's also part of your training, and it's also part of learning to love yourself and forgive yourself and all that kind of stuff. So but I have come to some realizations that a lot of I watched, and this is just one of like a million videos, but All Seeing Isis Oracle, I think she called herself All Seeing Isis. If you want to check her out, look at her video yesterday. She basically describes my whole entire life. about 30 times throughout that video. I was like, whoa, that too? What? My mom was handicapped. When I was 2, I had some kind of life-changing experience. Apparently, I started having some like superpowers when I was like 2 or 3, that scared the doo-doo out of probably my father. And he was probably a Mason back then, and I didn't know, or something. I don't know. But apparently, they put the kibosh on that. They brought me to somebody, some kind of practitioner that then, I mean, according to her reading, and this is how I put everything together, is that I'll see it in one reading, and there'll be another one that says the same thing, and another one that says the same thing, and then I'll see something in my life that says it too, and it just starts to, formulate a picture. Some of the things fall away, they don't end up being true, but they were true enough to take me down a certain path and think something that leads to an epiphany. So I'm just saying, your whole life, could have been completely manipulated by the Satanists this whole time. Like, they know, they bet on us. It's like Hunger Games. I mean, that's why they put out certain videos and shows and stuff. They watch to see, she said, when you were homeless, they did that. And I had a massive anxiety attack. Remember, I went through PTSD. I've told you guys so much of my life. All of the stuff she listed. Your mother having a stroke. She goes, a stroke or aneurysm. And I was like, what? And I was always afraid because it happened to her so young. I was just like, oh my gosh, what happens when I get 28 or whatever? Am I going to have a stroke like my mom? I had no clue, just like most of us. I had no clue that it was all by these guys trying to stop me from getting in my power and knowing who I am and what I'm capable of, like you, perhaps. So I'm inviting you to take a look at your life and all the bad stuff that's happened. If you've had a lot of trauma happen in your life, it's very highly possible that it was not only demons, but it was completely intentional. It was curses and spells put on you, even generational stuff. Like you just had all of it done to you. You had all of it done to you your whole life. And I was scared to death of these end times, scared to death my whole life. I couldn't even tell you why. I would shake in fear as a kid, scared to death of these end times. And I felt, I'm going to go through it. I'm going to go through it. I just know that I am. I hope I'm still fairly young so I can fight, I don't want to be like old and fragile when it happens, because then I'm at somebody else's, I have to rely on other people around me to keep me safe or something like, so I would watch those movies like Armageddon and all that stuff. And I'm telling you guys, I had such a fear of the end times and such a fear of the Great Awakening. Other people were like, it's going to be great, and all these wonderful communities and stuff, and nothing about it sounded good to me. Back then, I was like, no, superheroes are going to come from this. I was like, where are they coming up with this stuff? This is ridiculous. People are going to become superheroes. Oh my gosh. And so I was sure. I was sure we were all going to be set on fire or something, like we were all going to be crumbling down into the earth and being eaten up by whatever. I mean, the worst of it. I was always afraid of it, my whole life afraid of it. Now I see that all of that, my whole life wasted by these assholes deciding to tamper with my fate and not let me know who I am and put their freaking fear, which is all that shit's going to happen to them. All that bad stuff, all that stuff that we see in the movies and stuff, that kind of stuff's going to happen to them because they're in the 3D. They're being left behind. It's all going to crumble for them. If not literally in a physical sense, then definitely, energetically, meaning that their lives fall apart. They lose everything, their house, their relationships, their children, or whatever's important to them. It's gone for being like that. So, I'm just like, there's so much about my life that has been manipulated that you're just left feeling like, wow. But it's even more profound when I say that everything that's good, everything that you feel great about, everything that brings you joy, everything that makes you laugh, all of that is you and angels, and everything negative is demons. Well, guess who sends the freaking demons? We invite them. We can choose to listen to demons or angels in any given moment. Yeah, but these guys were like when we were children, when we had no clue, they tried to take our superpowers. I had all these, like, they couldn't stop all my little make believe friends, make believe. They couldn't stop all my little friends. I had a lot of little friends. So, and they were probably like, whoever put that curse on me or whatever is probably grumbling, but at least it's not this, whatever I could do. And I remember when I learned light language, I remember that I remembered a sound that I made when I was little. Isn't that weird? Like there was somebody spoke light language and they were doing, I think it was like a chakra clearing. It was what's her name? I've mentioned her before. I haven't watched her for a long time, but Vanessa Lamorte. Yes, she's just amazing. Try to look up her chakra clearing. It is just a beautiful sampling of light language. It's amazing what she can do. And she sings light language like an angel. It's just she's amazing. So, and she's like my mentor. I took a class from her a long time ago. So one of the I would listen and listen and listen, and then one of the what do you call it, a syllable or a sound that she made, it sounded really similar to something I said when I was a kid or something. How do you even remember a sound that you made as a kid? And maybe I made it a lot, or maybe, yeah, I don't know. That's what makes me think like maybe when I was two or something, whatever it was really freaked out my family. And I'm thinking maybe I was speaking light language when I was two and I just started spouting it out. I mean, highly likely. And I was probably already healing things back then. An animal probably died and I just put my hand on it and it just like resurrected. I don't know. I don't know what happened. I don't remember. I don't remember my childhood at all. I have about 3 or 4 memories from childhood. That's it. I don't remember anything except being very defensive and held up in my house, like always feeling like someone was going to try to break in or something crazy, because I was always alone. It was a big house and I was all alone. And I felt like nobody was looking out for me. I had to look out for myself. I felt very, very alone and defensive as a kid. Very alone. Still do. I'm still very alone. Anyway, but I've made it really fun. Now I really enjoy being alone. So, and that's one of the things of chosen ones, of anointed ones. You spend a lot of time alone, a lot of time, and that's because you need training, you need development, you need to develop your character, you need to develop your integrity, your authenticity, all of it needs to be untainted by the outside world. I mean, I'm sure all of you had times when you would go out and socialize and party and do things that normal people do, like have to have friends and you did all the song and dance and it just wasn't for you. It's like, parties, please. That's like so dumb. I mean, some parties can be nice if people are actually nice, but most parties are so superficial and gossipy and you get drunk and you have headaches and it's just like, I don't know, we just don't think the same things are as important, and friends that are just fake and you can't be your total self with and that you can't just tell everything, like I would rather not have any friends that I have to tippy toe around or not mention certain subjects. The fact that I do cards I want real people in my life who just totally accept me for who I am. That's what I want. And if nobody accepts me for who I am, then they can just get the hell out of here and not even be in my space because I don't care. I'm happy being by myself, right? A lot of you have come to the same conclusion. You'd rather be totally alone and full of God's peace and be present in the moment, and you create a nice environment for yourself and you bask in the goodness of it and you love that. Hey, somebody comes in your environment and brings a bunch of havoc and chaos and whatever else they bring, it feels like a nightmare. It's like, why would I want you in my house? You know, they start, they love to come in and insult you or insult things about you or about your life and stuff. It's just like, what? You're not welcome. You are not welcome. Gosh. And you start to have zero tolerance for any kind of bullshit, or blowing smoke up your ass, any of that. It's just like, get out. Just go. I don't need that. I don't need that. I would like peace, and I don't care who's paying you to spy on me. Get out. If it doesn't make me feel good, if it doesn't make me feel better as a person with you being around me in all ways, out of here. Watch Katroya too. She's so funny and she's so right on too. And she's been right on with me too. I'm just like, I cannot even, that just happened. So, and that's K-T-R-O-Y-A. K-T-R-O-Y-A. Yeah. All right. So pay attention. It's like God could be totally trying to tell you how important you truly are. And don't make it an ego thing. You're here to change the world. You're here to make an impact, just like you want to, right? Don't make a big deal of it. You're just here to help, right? You don't have to act like you're, Jesus or something. Oh my gosh, I'm the next Messiah. Even if you are, or even if you are as important, or even if you're playing that big of a role, which a lot of people really are, they're all like getting into their power in a way that you guys aren't going to believe it. We are going to get superpowers. Those things are coming online. And we are, we're going to see the most incredible things in our world. You're not going to believe it. Like so many miracles and like a high, like you could never possibly imagine with any kind of stupid drug or drinking or any of that. So what Satan offers is fake, a fake high, a fake, drunk, a fake, all of it, just fake, 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 fake. Subpar, all of it, subpar. Like I was saying, the fancy cars, subpar. Everything about Satan is subpar. God made everything absolutely incredible, just as it is, naturally, right? The real high, being enlightened. Now that's something. That's something that can't be beat. Anyway, I'm just encouraging you to not fall for these people or beings or both or the demons trying to get you depressed, trying to make you feel like no good thing's going to happen for you, trying to feel like you're not worthy of anything great. Surely that reading wasn't talking to me. Oh, I'm nothing. I've only learned a little bit of Reiki. I don't know what I'm doing. Stop. Stop. You could be about to be like some kind of superstar. You could be about to be famous. You could be about to like be traveling all over the world. And it's not about you. And it's not about your name plastered all over the place. It's about God being able to utilize you to save humanity, to wake other people up to who they are and their own strength and their own power. We're empowering the light workers at this time, right? Isn't this exciting? Oh my gosh. So have fun with it. Be okay with it. Be like, bring it, God. Whatever you got to tell me. Thank you so much for showing me the truth in all things. Thank you so much for showing me the truth in all things. Thank you, God, so much for showing me how much you love me. Thank you, God, so much for showing me how important I am to the rolling out of this new earth. Thank you so much for showing me and inspiring me toward my dreams. You may not have dreams. I didn't have any dreams. I just wanted to survive as long as I could. I didn't know that wasn't going to be an issue. I probably would have started doing more dreaming. But I've always been like, I've always been like, I just want to be in nature and around animals. That's all, I just want to feel peace. I just want to be peaceful and be around the things that I love and enjoy. I want to be around beautiful things. That's it. I'm pretty darn simple. I'm not very complicated. I don't have these like pie in the sky dreams or anything. But I know God wants me to have some of those things, you know. I can feel it. I can feel him giggling like, just you wait. Just you wait. You know, and somebody said this recently too, and I thought, God, that's so true. Like she said she was thinking about all the beautiful resorts, like all these beautiful places all over the world that are just breathtaking with waterfalls and rainbows and just take your breath away. And they're wasted on these idiot celebrities and people who are just going out there and is it consecrating it, just like destroying it, wrecking it, not even have any appreciation, just getting drunk and having sex in the bushes and stupid stuff, just so immature and like just being high on drugs and totally loopy, you know. And the person was just like reflecting on this, going, God, why would you create all of this incredible beauty for us to enjoy? And all the celebrities get it, all the pedophiles get it, all the people who are horrible people that are going to be the scum of the earth going forward. Why are they the ones that get to enjoy that stuff? Why are they the ones with all the money that are going to be able to do these nice things? You know, that she was pondering that and she was like, God's like, he said to her, it's about to flip. It's about to flip the way it should be, right? Hence the wealth transfer and what is it? The meek inheriting the earth and everything having to do with it. So it's being handed over to God's children, to his anointed and chosen ones, his light workers. Keep up your meditation, you guys, and pay attention to the signs. Stop discrediting it. Stop explaining it away. Stop being afraid of it. Welcome it. Welcome the ETs visiting, you know? Um, and remember there's Bluebeam too. Project Bluebeam like is a bunch of stuff that looks incredibly realistic that isn't at all. So remember to keep that in mind going forward. But practice your spidey senses. I've never felt I was anything, you guys. Like I know that, I'm incredibly intuitive and incredibly gifted as a healer, and all I know that I'm amazing. But at the same time, there's the just the regular part of me is just like I'm nothing. I'm nothing. I'm so humble, And I'm just like sometimes we do that to ourselves. And it's not that I don't love myself. I love the daylights out of myself. I love myself so much. I just love myself so much. I do. I'm just saying that we live a normal daily everyday life. We go to the bathroom, we brush our teeth, we do what we do, and we don't even compare ourselves to other people. At least I don't. I don't go, oh, I'm not as amazing as that person. Not usually. I mean, every once in a while I'll see somebody and I'll be like, damn, they got it all. Like they can do everything I can do, but they're gorgeous. And I just look like this. I don't know. So we're gonna have those moments, but I'm just saying that we never see ourselves as special or unique or powerful like that. But we need to look in the mirror and be like, you know what? Maybe you need to make a list of what makes you pretty extraordinary, pretty unique, pretty gifted, admit you're really accurate. Admit it. Admit you're an incredible healer. Admit, or maybe, just whatever you're amazing at, whatever you're really great at. You may just be really organized. You may just be very kind to people. That's amazing. And that's so hard to find, like genuine kindness for the sake of actually just giving to another because you care or you're concerned or you have compassion or whatever it is. So give yourself a pat on the back just by being a kind, loving person, because they're few and far between. Not somebody looking for credit, not somebody looking to look good, not somebody trying to impress somebody that they're standing next to, or not any of that. but and not for payback or not for a thank you or any of it, just like, whoa, you're about to drop that. Let me grab it for you. Just like not even thinking about it. And I know you're that kind of person. So, well, except for my enemies that are watching this just to spy. Hello, you still here? Sorry, I have to. It was so funny too in that reading that I was just talking about. How I was talking about the celebrities, like what makes you all important? Nothing. Nothing's important about you. You're good looking. So what? A lot of people are good looking. There's better looking normal people than celebrities some places. Or what did you have to do to have that perfect body? Do some kind of voodoo ritual? Do some kind of beauty spell? That's stupid. That's fake, That's there's not natural beauty in that, That's not, it's like, it's laughable. And you guys were like, adrenochrome and torturing children and stuff. Like, you guys are disgusting. You're not only, you guys are just like the bottom of the barrel. You guys are running on you're jealous of other people. You don't even have a life. You don't even have anything of value that you can actually, mind your own business and just create a quality life in your own lane. You can't even do that. You got to be looking at other people and being jealous of other people and trying to take them down or take what they have or blah, 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 blah. Mind your own business. You guys are they're so nothing. They are so nothing. And it's just hilarious that they've been like put up on a pedestal. That's just been like, Satan took over for a while, guys, but God's back in town. He's going to rectify this whole ridiculous situation of who we're worshiping. Anyway, so I was like, how I said that yesterday in the video. She's in that video, the all-seeing eye. She says, your enemy was watching that video saying, yeah. I'm like having a breakdown about it. I'm sorry, but that was oh my gosh, you guys should have done your healing. You should have done your healing. That's all I'm saying. Now it's time to get all right. Now it's not going to hurt. I want you to repeat after me. I am nothing. I don't need to be anything. Okay? I am nothing. I'm worth nothing. I have nothing. I don't have a car. I don't have a house. And it's okay. Try to get back to basics. Stick in your own lane. Pay attention only to you. Get rid of all your stupid friends that has led you astray and told you a bunch of bullshit that got you off track in the first place. Start practicing having positive thoughts. Use positive affirmations. Use some positive stuff. Start getting back on track. Listening to some angels. You got a default going where you're constantly listening to those demons. That's why you're tortured. Straighten out and fly right. This is your wake-up call. You're nothing, and it's okay. I'm nothing. We're all nothing. Nobody needs to be anything special. Just be at peace. You don't need to be anything. You got to think about in terms of like your mental health. You got to be okay having a car or not having a car. You got to be okay having $200 billion or nothing at all, or like 2 cents. You got to be okay, having a million friends and not having any friends at all because you push them out the door and you don't care because they're all fake. Get to where, so now I'm helping my enemies. Get to where none of it phases you. That's where you get in your power. Okay. Take your lumps because you guys did some really shitty stuff to people like me. You're going to have to take your freaking lumps and they're going to be hard. It's going to hit hard. If it's not already hitting, I feel like for a lot of you, it's already hitting. Don't explain it away or think people like me would do any black magic because we don't do that kind of shit. We just don't. It's beneath us. We don't even need to. God just takes care of it. We want to sometimes, but we won't do that. It's really immature to retaliate like that and take revenge on people. And when you get to the level where we're at, we don't need to do that. So, in fact, we're just all about healing. If it makes us mad enough that we would want to do something like that, we take out our tablet and we do Byron Katie on it, or we meditate on it, or we ask God, give us an epiphany or realization that help us to break free of this. We don't like being in the feelings that you guys live in all the time. You know. Anyway, it's time for healing. This is your wake up call too. It's the light workers' wake up call to who they truly are and their power, and stop pushing it away, pretending to be like, I'm just a little mouse. No, you're a huge, you're huge, massive energy. Like they're applauding you in the stars. They're celebrating you right now. They are so freaking impressed by how you've made it through all that you've made it through. If you could just see, there are like tears in these gods' eyes, all those gods, the Indian gods, all the Shiva and Ganesh, everybody, they're just like, oh my gosh, this is so inspiring. Oh, they're out there just like, wow. And in my enemies, are you finally going to listen to me? Don't you think it's time? What do they say is the definition of insanity? Is banging your head against the wall with the same thing all the time and thinking it's going to change or something? Like, stop. Stop going about things the same way. Stop going to any practitioners. Stop doing any kind of voodoo or black magic or any kind of bullshit. Just get thankful for things that you have in your life. It could save your life. Just sit and meditate as frequently as possible about what you love. Oh my gosh, I'm so grateful for my dog. Oh my gosh, I'm so grateful for, the friends that I do have that seem to be real, I think. I'm so grateful for the food that I eat. I'm so grateful that I have a roof over my head. It doesn't matter if it's a cardboard box. Just be grateful for everything that you possibly can. And you might be able to get yourself out of this less, less, what do you call it, traumatic than otherwise. Start changing your ways. Start thinking positive thoughts. You can pull yourself out of it. You can change. The reason that you became like you are in the first place, somebody explained this to me and I was like, oh, that makes so much sense. Like when you were little, you were treated so shitty by one of your parents, maybe even on purpose because they were satanic and you didn't even know, kind of treated you like shit, didn't show you any love, didn't show you any compassion, nobody listened to you, okay? Didn't give a crap at all. So you had to be the one who gave a crap about yourself, but you kind of went overboard. You only cared about yourself. It was survival, pure survival for you. But there wasn't any balance to it. There wasn't any, I'm going to survive and help others around me survive. It was just, I'm going to survive, period. And you just got in a habit of it. You learned to put a big wall between you and other people. You started, feeling competitive and all the other stuff. And it just kept compiling. So I just think with these med beds and things that are coming, I think a lot of you could change. I think a lot of you could, drop your defenses. Stop thinking you're anything at all. Stop being angry at people who tell you the truth. Just practice this. Put your hands up in the air. She's right. Just say that. If you can't do that, you're going to have to go through a lot of suffering in the days ahead. I'll tell you. Just be like, she's right. Any of you, even the light workers, if somebody's been complaining about you or mad at you or saying that you ought to do something different, blah, 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 you're right. Just sit with it for a second. She's right. You don't have to do anything about it in that moment. Just let it sit for a second. Just feel that. Feel that. And also try going to the mirror. Try going to the mirror as soon as this video is done. And you say, I love you. I love you. I got your back now. I'll always have your back. I've always had your back as much as I could. with what I had and what I knew. And now I got your back again, and I'm going to get you back up on your feet. And I'm going to, be your best cheerleader and get rid of anybody else around you who isn't. You don't need anybody else. All you need is God source energy coursing through your veins and meditation so you can listen to your guides. And you need to have good hygiene with your spirituality, guys. You gotta be like, sometimes I gotta get rid of who's in my spirit crew. Like anybody bad, get the hell out. Just like with people in my life, right? Get out. Everybody bad, get out. And I'll see like a few go, and I'm like, oh shit, I didn't even know they were there. Damn it. You know? And then I'll just be like, only benevolent, loving, So you got to be on top of that too. You'll get better at it. Just practice. Just practice. You know? And don't doubt yourself. Don't get depressed. Don't be, we're about to have the most incredible, miraculous things ever happen in our entire, this is like so biblical. It's unreal. Be open to that. You could be Moses. You could be Yeshua. You could be like, what role are you going to play? There's so many more now. You could be Mother Mary. You could be, all of those characters that we've read about. You could be one of those. You could be that significant or more. Jesus said you can do this and more, all of you. Catch a clue, he's saying. Catch a clue. You could be a superhero. You could wake up and have those, shoot spider webs out of your hand. I mean, have an open mind. I'm just saying, have an open mind. You don't know what we're about to get into, but it's going to be pretty spectacular. It's going to be pretty amazing. Okay? And my enemies, you have a chance to also have a spectacular life, but you better get on the right side of the tracks quick. And you got to take your lumps. Take responsibility. I did that to myself. She did not do that to me. I chose to feel that way. I chose to think that way. I chose it. Because when you take your power back that way and you take responsibility for yourself and your own decisions and your own feelings, you become a master. And that's when you can actually take control of your life and turn it, change it. You can't, the knob is like this when you're blaming somebody else. Oh, it's that they made me do it because they made me so mad and blah, 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 blah. It's not that other person who did it. It was you that decided to take offense. You got to get where everybody in a room full of people could be screaming and yelling at you and they don't faze you at all because what you think about you is all that matters, right? Get that way. Master yourself. Master self-love. And you're going to make it through it a lot better than some of your colleagues that are just flat out stubborn. So anyway, much love to all of you. And I wish you well in the days ahead. We're going to have a ton to celebrate and sending you all my love, a big giant hug, and let me do a light language blissing to help everyone through what we're about to go through, okay? In whichever way you need it. So this is just going to be custom to you, however you need it to best support you. Tasa no woi shi shi hen ka e la sa wa sa na shi che he ke wa e sa. Atatan cha chi che wu pa na tra sa e ke no tru tu tu ta cha she he. Ha pa no tra sa ke lo pu ha ma na tru cha chi che bu ma an. Tra sa se la wa e shi che. Tu po ma na tra da chi she. And let's all come together right now and pour out our love to one another, okay? I'm going to pour out my love even to you enemies. And enemies, this is your chance to pour out your love for one's back, okay? And everybody else who's watching, no cursing allowed, no spells or anything like that is allowed in this moment, okay? Only pure love. Whether you're my enemy or you're my friend or you're just a viewer, it doesn't matter. I didn't mean just a viewer. I appreciate having you here. I'm just saying. Everyone watching this right now, about to do this blissing, must be coming from a place of love or your energy will be completely neutralized. Okay? It will not have any effect. So don't even bother. All right, ready? Ashe Wuna Sa E La Uma. Put your hand on your heart and send love to everyone right now. Tua Se Na U Shishike Na Ai. Mata na she la awawa no tru na she wawa na dan titi se na tun. If you speak light language, you can sing with me. Tisa se na tru sa se na she la ke wan ataisan chi wa a taran sa se wa e tatatin sa se la na she la Hu wa na trasa se wa shishin la ke la puan. Yay. All right, you guys have a beautiful rest of your day, and I will talk to you later.